You know, if you're anything like me, you remember the old days of video game consoles where if you couldn't afford to buy it at launch, you may wait a year or two, pick it up on a sale, maybe Black Friday. It'd be down from like $500 or $400 to like 300, something like that. And honestly, sometimes you even benefited because waiting meant there would be more games to play on these consoles. So not only was your patience rewarded by saving you money and giving you more games to play, but the value proposition of the console would increase over time for gamers. Back then, being an early adopter came at a premium, and it was something a lot of hardcore gamers were willing to pay. Today's console market, however, is very different. I think that's made especially clear by the recent news we got this morning confirming that Sony will be increasing PS5 prices across the board. These price increases will be effective in just a few days on April 2nd, 2026, and they're pretty big. So without skirting around anything anymore, I'm just going to show you the prices that they're going to be jumping to on April 2nd. I'll link the article below if you want to go find details on like region specific pricing, but for now I'm just going to stick to the US prices because that's what I know. So the new pricing structure is as follows. For the PS5 disc version, you will now be paying $650. For the PS5 digital edition, you will be paying $600. And for the PS5 Pro, you will be paying a whopping $900. PlayStation Portal is also going to be going up in price. I saw the number $250 floated around, but I couldn't find specific verification from Sony on this. And it is important to remember this is a global increase. It's not just affecting the US or any other specific regions. It's hitting every single market that has access to the PS. And this actually echoes the previous price increases we've seen from both Sony and Microsoft at this point, with Sony's stated reason for the price increase being the quote global economic landscape. And that's literally it. They don't talk about component costs or trade policy or inflation, just the global economic landscape. Just take our word for it as we increase the prices by $100+ on all of our models. And this comes not long after Sony just recently raised prices in August of 2025. It's like every 6 to 7 months we're seeing the prices of these consoles jump a dramatic amount, to the point where if you were an early adopter of these consoles, they've basically just become an appreciating asset for you and you could resell them at a profit. And I don't know, maybe this is just my age speaking, although I don't think I'm that old, but I'm used to hardware prices decreasing over the life cycle of a product, especially as they gear up to launch a new one. This has always been true for every electronic device I've purchased, from TVs to laptops to gaming consoles or even cell phones. And with all of the talk about the next gen launching in like 2027 or 2028, I honestly have a lot of concerns. Like, for one, I don't know what the new consoles are going to cost, if this is what they're trying to set for what will be considered the previous gen. Does this mean the PS6 is going to be $1,200? I mean, there's already talk about Microsoft having a $1,000 PC hybrid console that's probably going to run like shit. I don't think anyone in their right mind should purchase either a PS5 or an Xbox Series console at this point, because the next gen might be just as expensive, so you're not even saving any money by getting it this late into the life cycle. And if the next gen is going to be launching in like 2 to 3 years, then what's the point? You know, thankfully I was able to secure a PS5 and an Xbox Series X at the start of the generation. It definitely wasn't super easy with all the stock issues going on at that time, but I paid $400 for my digital edition console and $500 for my Xbox. And overall, I feel like I got my money's worth, but I just can't fathom paying $650 or even $900 for these systems. That's just absolutely insane to me. And I really want to stress the fact that these are not just like minuscule price increases. It's not like $50 every year or something like that, in which case I'd kind of just shrug and go, oh, it's whatever. These are triple digit price increases 6 years into the life cycle of the console. We're nearing the end of this console generation and the prices have almost doubled from where they started. And I'm going to be honest, while I understand things like components are getting more expensive, I do think a lot of this just comes down to corporate greed. Unless they come out and say this is covering rising production costs or the RAM is getting more expensive, I just really have no other way to look at it. You can say global economic conditions, but unless you're being specific, that could mean literally anything. I also think this is a really interesting decision because with GTA 6 launching later this year, we're going to be seeing a lot of people try to pick up either a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, and I'm curious to see how these price increases are going to affect that. You know, there's been a significant portion of PS4 and Xbox One users who just kind of play like Fortnite and Call of Duty or NBA and GTA, of course, and they've kind of just been waiting for GTA 6 to upgrade, and so I thought that personally Sony would be waiting until after that to raise the price so they could get, you know, maximum sales of the console from GTA 6. All of this also comes at a time where game studios in particular keep trying to pass off their financial mismanagement onto customers. And while this is a little bit different because it's hardware related, not software, I do think that we as an industry need to take a look at how the industry just tries to pass off all rising costs to consumers instead of trying to cut costs in the first place. We've seen this with the recent push to $80 for certain games, generated a lot of backlash and led to a lot of publishers stepping back from that. Although I do personally think we're going to see them try to push games to $80 again this year. Who knows how that's going to go? But yeah, man, this situation is just absolutely insane. I can't believe that the consoles are going up this much in price when they're nearing the end of their life cycle. And it honestly just makes me worry a lot for the next generation of consoles. I think we're looking at close to, if not more than, $1,000 for the base models of the next gen consoles if the PS5 Pro is being bumped up to $900. Presumably the PS6 is going to be more powerful than that, so does that mean that's going to be $1,000? And then you have Xbox and Microsoft who just have completely given up the game at this point and don't care how many people they piss off. So who knows what they're going to set their console price to. I don't know, that $450 Nintendo Switch 2 isn't looking too bad right now. That's just my opinion though. But what do you guys think about all this? Have you already secured a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, or are you primarily someone who plays on PC or Switch? And if you were in the market for one, does this deter you enough to wait till the next gen or push you to buy a PC? I'm really interested to hear your thoughts and overall what you guys are thinking about the price increases, and it'll be really interesting to see how this affects console sales, especially around the launch for GTA 6. But I think that's going to do it for me on this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support and engagement on the previous videos, and if you're enjoying the content, be sure to let me know what you want to see more of down below in the comments. And of course, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to see more content. I actually have a lot of really fun video ideas coming up, so I can't wait to share those with you guys. And with all of that said, I will see you all in the next video. Take care, guys.